Hello everybody, it's Mrs. Barber and it's day 20. Can you believe it's day 20, the 20th message I have given you? I have to say something. Next week we have spring break and I should be so excited about spring break. Usually I am. I'm like so super, I'm going to have a break. I'm going to go travel. But I gotta tell you the truth this time. Today I was feeling a little bit sadly because I really like meeting with you every day. And I really like making these videos. It gives me something that feels really regular because teaching feels very normal and regular to me. And lots of things feel not so regular right now. So I want to say that making these videos is really the best part of my night. I do it every night after dinner. I put Rose to bed and then I come make a video. And meeting with you in the daytime when I see your faces so eager to learn is the best part of my daytime. I will miss you next week, but I'm going to make you a special gift and I'm going to send it to your mom and dad. So you have something to do when I'm not with you because the principal has told me there is no working, Mrs. Barber. There's no working on spring break. It is time for you to take a break. So I'm going to listen. She's my boss. And I'm going to take a break. But I'm going to tell you that I will miss you. And I will miss reading these stories to you. And then I'll be back right after our week apart. So I'll show you a few things today that are special to me that Rose made. She made things out of clay because it was my birthday. She made this happy hedgehog. She made this ostrich because I think ostriches are hilarious. That's my favorite one. And she made this cute fox. She's into making foxes. Those are my gifts from Rose. And they mean a lot to me because she used her own hands to make them. And I bet you if you make something for mom and dad, that will make them feel great too. And those are my guys. They're going to go over here. Mr. Pickle's taking a nap. He's far across the room today. And afterwards, I'm going to paint some eggs because that's something that we do in my family. That's a tradition around this time. And I'm going to play a song that I liked from when I was a little girl at the end. So I'm just going to do a little quick painting. But I have double stories today because Petunia is quite long and Egg by Kevin Henkes is quite short. So no poem, a message story activity today. And it's just some painting of eggs. And when we come back from the break, I will have more science experiments. I'm going to do some reading. That's not against the rules to do some reading. And I'm going to find some cool science things to do with you guys. This is called Petunia, and I was very drawn to the art on it. I find it very whimsical and adorable. I hope you like this story. It's about what I really want you to do on the break. I know it's a break, but you have to read. You have to, because it makes your brain grow so much, and it makes your belly laugh so much, and it makes your heart full. Even if we're on a break, keep reading. Do it. I'm going to do it too. Okay, this is Petunia. It's a book about a silly duck. And there are all her friends. Do you see them? I'm going to stretch it out because the pictures in this book are the best. In the meadow early one morning, Petunia, the silly goose, went strolling. She ate a bug here, clipped off a clover leaf there, and she picked at the dewdrops on the goldenrod leaves. Sounds like a normal duck, huh? Then suddenly she saw something she had never seen before in the meadow. What was it? Petunia stole closer and closer and sniffed at it from all sides. "By goosey gander," she said, "it does not smell like food for a goose. But I believe I have seen such a thing before. Yes, I have seen one under Bill's arm when he came out of school. It's a book. That's it, a book. Come to think of it, just the other day I heard Mr. Pumpkin telling Bill that books are very precious. 'He who owns books and loves them is wise.' That's what he said. 'He who owns books and loves them is wise,'" repeated Petunia to herself. And she thought as hard and as long as she could. "Well then," she said at last, "if I take this book with me and love it, I will be wise too, and no one will call me a silly goose ever again." So Petunia picked up the book and off she went with it. She slept with it. She swam with it. And knowing that she was so wise, Petunia also became proud, and prouder, and prouder, so proud that her neck stretched out several notches. It was King the Rooster who first noticed the change in Petunia. He said, "Maybe Petunia is not so silly after all. She has a book, and she looks so wise that she must be so." And the other animals began to believe in Petunia's wisdom too. They asked her for advice and opinions, and Petunia was glad to help even when she was not asked. Petunia grew still prouder, and her neck stretched out another notch. One day Petunia heard Clover the cow say to King the Rooster, "I wonder what makes your comb so red, King, as red as a barn." "It's my blood," said King. "It's the color of my blood." "Nonsense," said Clover. "I have blood too, but I'm not a red cow. Your comb has been dipped in red barn paint. That's what makes it so red." "You're both silly, of course," said Petunia. "King, your comb was stuck on by a feather farmer, so he can tell you from the hens. And you know who lays eggs and who doesn't." "Plastic comb, I'd say." And so King never again shook his proud comb in song for fear that it might fall off. Poor sad rooster. But Petunia had other things to do. At the chicken coop, Ida the hen was cackling excitedly among her chicks. "Oh, Petunia," she said, "my chicks and I have been for a walk in the woods, and I think I've lost some of them. The farmer says I had 9, but I can't count so very well. Please, wise Petunia, count my chicks to see if they're all there." "Glad to help," said Petunia. Let's see. 3 chicks at the fountain, 3 chicks at the feeder, 3 about your legs. Now 3 times 3. That makes 6. 6? Asked Ida. 6? Is that less than 9? That's more than 9, not less, said Petunia. Lots more, my dear. More than 9? Good gracious! As if I didn't have enough worries with my own 9 chicks. And where do the other chicks come from? Oh dear, I'll never be happy again. Poor, worried Ida. But Petunia had other things to do. In the meadow she discovered part of Noisy the dog, sticking out a hole in the ground. Help, help! Cried Noisy. I stuck my head in a rabbit hole, and now it won't come out. Help! Glad to help, said Petunia. It's a good thing I know what hunters do to get stubborn animals out of holes in the ground. They smoke them out. Wait until I fetch some sticks and some matches. And so wise Petunia built a fire in the other end of the hole and fanned it well with the book. Her trick worked nicely. Noisy, choking with smoke, jerked his head out of the hole and ran off, howling with pain. His nose was singed with fire and his ears were cut and bruised. Poor moaning dog. But Petunia had other things to do. Beside the hedgerow, she met Straw, the horse, who was in pain from a toothache. Petunia, groaned Straw, I'm dying. Surely with your wisdom you can stop this horrible pain. Glad to help, said Petunia. Open your mouth. Why, you poor Straw, all these teeth. No wonder you have a toothache. Look at me. Do I have teeth? Of course not. So I have no toothache. I'm going to stop all that pain right now. I'm going to pull all those teeth out. All of them. Let me get some pliers. But Straw would not wait for the pliers. He was so afraid to lose his teeth that he never talked about his toothache to another soul. He suffered in silence. Poor forlorn horse. But Petunia had other things to do. Cotton the kitten went up the tree but could not come down. While he meowed and meowed, his friends called for Petunia. Glad to help, said Petunia. I know just what to do. Since none of you all is tall enough to reach Cotton, all of you will do it together. donkey on top of Clover, pig on top of donkey, and so on up. Simple. So donkey climbed on top of Clover, pig on top of donkey, goat on top of pig, sheep on top of goat, piggy on top of sheep, turkey on top of piggy, duck on top of turkey, hen on top of duck. Suddenly Clover cried out, "Stop! My legs feel wobbly." And she sat. And donkey and the rest fell into a heap, and Cotton was so scared he fell on top of them. They were all full of bumps. "Well," said Petunia, "Cotton is down." So he was, poor bruised kitten. But Petunia had other things to do. Getting prouder all the time, she felt her neck stretch further out. She now wandered down the meadow where she found some other friends gathered around a box. "Ah, wise Petunia," they shouted. "We found this box in the ditch beside the road. Maybe it's food, Petunia. Please tell us what the writing on it says." "Fragile, danger, firecrackers, fragile." "Glad to help," said Petunia. "Now let's see. Why, candies. That's what it says on the box. Yes, candies. You may eat them. Yes, of course." No sooner had Petunia given the word than 7 greedy mouths tore up the box and grabbed the candies out of it, and boom! What a sight the animals were! Some were burned, some were bruised. Straw still suffered in silence. Noisy still moaned. Ida still worried about her chicks. King still brooded over his comb. And all the barnyard was in trouble. All because of Petunia. Petunia's pride and wisdom had exploded with the firecrackers. Her neck had shrunk back to its old size and was all banged up. She was the most downhearted of all, for she saw now that she was not a bit wise. But suddenly, Petunia spied a book. The firecrackers had blown it open so that the pages showed. She had never seen them before. Now she saw that there was something written on the inside of the book which she could not read. So she sat down and thought and thought and thought, until at last she sighed. "Now I understand. It was not enough to carry wisdom under my wing. I must put it in my mind and in my heart. And to do that, I must learn to read." Petunia was filled with joy. At once she began to work so that one day she could be truly wise. Then she would help make her friends happy. I love this book. I think Petunia did make her friends happy. I think that she was trusted by her friends. And then in the end, she knew she needed to do some research to be even better, because she put her friends in danger by not reading that box. But I really love the Petunia story. She was surrounded by people who love her, just like you are now, just like I am right now. I'm very lucky to have the two loves of my life in my house, just like you have your family and yours. So I met Kevin Henkes. He wrote Chrysanthemum and some other stories, and I'll show you a letter from him one day soon. And he wrote this book, Egg. It's very short. I'm going to read this book really quickly, and then we're going to paint an egg and hear a song. Egg, to Mrs. Barber's class. He signed it right there. Egg, 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 crack, 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 egg. Surprise, 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 egg. Goodbye, 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 egg. Do you remember those chicks we met in class? That was very fun. Waiting. Waiting, 4 times 4, 16 waitings. Waiting, 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 waiting. Listen. Peck, peck, peck. 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 3 times 5 is 15 pecks. Oh my goodness. Now there's too many pecks. There are 4 times 4 and 3 in each. Oh my gosh. Peck, 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 peck. Blah, 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 blah. Crack. Surprise! I did not see that coming. Did you see that coming? Alone, sad, lonely, miserable. Friends. The end. Oh, the alligator hatched out in the wrong. Maybe. Oh, there might be a sequel to this story. All right, so I have some eggs. I heard that brown eggs come from brown chickens. I heard that white eggs come from white chickens. I'd like you to do some research and tell me if that's true. So next week again, we will have a break. And on that break, read something. Be kind. Go outside. Be happy and make your family happy. You make me happy and proud every day, and I really do love you very much. I always will. You're my very special class. So I'm going to play a song that I liked when I was little, like your age. I don't know why I love this song, but sometimes when I'm riding my bike, and I'm 44, I still sing this goofy song in my head. It's called Here Comes Peter Cottontail. And then I'm just going to paint some designs on my eggs that I boiled, and I'm going to eat them for my breakfast. You can...
Peter Cottontail, you have shown great ingenuity, and therefore you have won the right to be official chief. And on, all of his friends turned out to greet him, because everybody knew that Peter Cottontail was on his way. Here comes Peter Cottontail, hopping down the bunny trail, hippity-hopping Easter's on its way. Bringing every girl and boy baskets full of Easter joy, things to make your Easter bright and gay. He's got jelly beans for Tommy, colored eggs for Sister Sue. There's an orchid for your mommy, and an Easter bonnet too. Oh, here comes Peter.
Okay, friends, thank you for letting me read to you, share science, share art, share memories and good thoughts, and have a good spring break. Be as wonderful as I know you are. I will miss you, but I will come back with new and exciting things, and I can't wait to see what you're learning and what you're doing at home. Take good care of yourself. Be smart and responsible, and the wonderful person that I know that you are. I love you very, very much.